the necessary items where the infrastructure people, all the people who come from, they want to focus on. So a few of them are in the left, but we can just start the introductions. So the panel now and the subject is quite close to the creativity and craft sector. The vertical which we focus at TISAI is Hateli, and Hateli's focuses on three or four ideas: architecture, interiors, heritage, culture. And the purpose is that we want to not only focus on products like apparels and dupattas and all these, but we want to bring a lot of craft and creativity into our homes, be it your showroom, be it your house, be it your library, be it your cafeteria, and that's how this Hateli vertical started. We named it differently because we want to focus and make it a distinct feature as part of TISAI. Over a period, we have done some interventions, and Ruchi was involved in one of our big interventions. American Express reached out to us last year, or maybe 1.5 years back, and they wanted a story of women empowerment, creativity, waste, circularity, crafts, Indian heritage into their entire design of their space, which came up in Gurgaon, 36 floors. MX International American card, most of people use, but as a part of giving back to the society, they wanted their building to be very distinct. And they reached out to us, and in a 1 year period of time, we have put 350 art interventions there in form of sculptures and murals and paintings and installation. It was a great journey, and some of the artworks in a smaller format, in a sample formats are behind there. Like you see there, Madhubani and a lot of waste fabric put together. And our designers and Ruchi, as one of the lead designers into that, have done it. We also did this for Microsoft in Delhi. We also did for LTI Mindtree in Mumbai and multiple offices across the country. So continuing with that idea, the purpose of the panel here is how do we bring interiors and architecture and culture and creativity together? How do we weave it together? The main meaning of the French word TISAI we have is to weave, and that's how we bring here this collaborative approach and this panel. So I request the senior most panel members, Mr. Suresh Babu sir, to please come here. We have been knowing him for many years, and this is the first opportunity to invite him on an official platform apart from being a family friend. Abhay, it's an inspiration of how you have at this young age put Ingrain and Code together, and it took me some time to analyze and that they're both are done by you. Because when my family told, I said, no, he's from Code, I don't know about Ingrain. And then she said, no, that's his second baby. And of course, Ruchi, my own very dear, she's part of TISAI almost. Her designs and her ideas inspire us quite a lot. We will leave the panel for Ruchi to moderate, being a single female member out here and talkative also. So maybe she'll take this journey ahead, and over to you, Ruchi. You know the theme, but you can explore other avenues also as a discussion. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Megha, and thank you, my colleagues here. And I think it's a dear subject to my heart, where we say that how do we bring in an overly abused word, which is sustainability, in today's age and time. How can we really add value? We have actually added value with an interior space and sustainability, eco-friendly materials with our art installations that we've done for the corporates. Now, understanding from our peers here that how do we bring in innovation, what is their perspective when they say the latest innovation driving sustainability in architecture. What do you guys think? What are the latest innovations with sustainability in architecture? To you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Megha ji, for calling me for this function. And I'm really delighted to be with some of the most creative colleagues of mine. I'm really excited. Now, when we talk about sustainability, it is a need of the hour. Because architecture, it is one of the oldest profession. And when we have thousands of years, all our houses or any building we make, it's all as per the theory of nature and as per the climatic condition, as per the geography and other things. Maybe after industrialization, we wanted to make multiple houses and faster way of construction. Somewhere or the other, we lost the connectivity from the nature. And we use different material which is not sustainable. We use even the planning is not properly oriented or positioned properly to bring the thing. We can see a lot of even this hall itself. When we are sitting very next to the sea. We could have got a beautiful breeze from outside, but here we are sitting inside a closed room with air conditioned thing. That thing, that kind of a thing, that sustainability principle should start from the concept itself. How you position, how you orient, things like that. Once you do that thing, and we can create a wonderful thing. Ultimately, we are all created by nature. Before we go back, we should give back to nature. We should not destroy the nature and grow. That is the basic principle.
But I think let's get the old and the new in place here. These are the fundamentals of architecture. As he rightly said, the fundamental principles of architecture is that how human psychology and humans stay connected to nature to be able to live a holistic life. Now, I would like to hear from you that in today's age and time with the kind of sky-rise structures that we are all programmed to live in, because that's become a lifestyle for us now, especially in a city like Mumbai where we don't have a choice. It's a vertical growth. Where do you see we can still bring in sustainability, but at the same time, what are the tools that can have sustainability for our sky-rise buildings in the cities?
Yeah, I'll answer this question in specifics, how we can address this on high-rise buildings. But before we get to that, I always feel that we are always in a guilt. Like we are somebody, like Mumbai, we are Mumbaiites, so we are consuming too much of energy and we are staying in high-rise buildings and too much congestion and all that. But I have a different take on it altogether. It might be a little digression, but it's the thought which I want everybody to take through this small discussion. Mumbai will be, if you count the numbers, will be one of the world's most greenest city, the least energy consuming per capita. The city has 25% or more green areas. It has a national park in the center of the city. And apart from that, there are a lot of other parks also. It's the fact that we don't necessarily know about it, but that's the fact about the city. Secondly, more than 60% people do not own a single vehicle. It's a miracle. None of the cities of the world today are sustaining without self-transport, like self-means of transportation. You cannot imagine America. There are cities where the per capita number of cars is 2. LA and all that. So this is like a big thing we are adding to the globe in terms of consuming the least amount of energy. 55% of the people of this city stay in less than 15% of the area of the city, the slums. The worrisome thing is that now everybody demands a life, a basic hygiene and life, and that's why a basic area needs to be built per person. And if you see in the last 10 years, India has constructed area which is equivalent to whatever we have constructed historically so far. So whatever we have built in the last 10 years, we have built over centuries. And in the coming 25 years, we'll be building 2 times of that. So actually your question is very, very important. How do we tackle this issue of sustainability? So at the outset, Indians don't need to worry too much about it. Because Indians, by their being an Indian who's very conservative in approach, waste, energy, paisa bachao, saste mein karao, all these things, by very nature, we are the most sustainable people on the planet. And it's a good thing that we are multiplying ourselves more than anybody else. So the planet is going to be harmed by us. So jokes apart, but yes, this whole sustainability, quality of life since COVID has come back into our thought processes. Even the developers who are very FSI hungry, our clients who are very insisting on reducing the area have now started talking about quality of life, not only for the sale towers but also for the rehab towers. People have started talking about the value of people, communities and spaces. So even in high-rise, the government has started giving, like for example, apart from Mumbai, there is a bylaw called as UDCPR, Unified Development Control. The rest of Maharashtra follows that. They have given a full entertainment floor free of FSI. It was never done earlier. It means that they have given an extra space for people to spend time, have greenery, vegetation in the building on the higher floors. So all this is going to add better quality of life, space and energy saving overall, because obviously the hygiene, the amount of oxygen, the amount of open space per person is going to increase because of this. Every day new materials are coming, which are demanding better and more, more inclination towards recycling of the previous materials. When I started my career, nobody used to use any, natural bricks were being used by extracting earth. Now, most bricks we use are fly ash, even the blocks, everything we use, there has to be a certain number of material which is the residual material of so many things. So all this is coming up, new codes are being formed, where instead of steel reinforcement, we will be switching to fiber-based reinforcement technology. So all this is going to happen. It is already happening. New coating materials, everything is being innovated. So all these things are coming. Smart elevators, they are finding out ways, how many people are traveling at what floor. So accordingly they are starting and stopping, combining people. So indirectly, directly, all this is helping us save energy. And
there are case studies where structures in Europe have been vertical forest buildings, which have been successful models for us to learn from and bring in that style of development in our own country, which is one of them is the vertical forest that we have. Then, as he rightly mentioned, the use of recycled waste material, where we have roofs being used to build. The building which is the pixel building where the recycled material is been used in Australia, which is a true case study where what is the importance and conscious awareness we are bringing in with waste materials. Of course, working with Meghaji at the interior level, we are conscious enough to build and work with waste materials. And we have a project in pipeline where we are looking at how at a larger scale we can develop for the real estate industry raw materials which are recycled and can be a more backward forward integration that we could have in terms of the scalability of the raw material. Like as you mentioned about the brick being one of the materials, we are trying textile to be a raw material which can help. It's going back to our roots that how best we can save Mother Earth to be able to consciously live with the right materials. So, where do you guys think now, with so much conscious awareness that we as professionals bring on board, how is technology going to play an added role to this whole cycle of development? To you, sir.
Yeah. Now this waste generation is one of the biggest problem any city or any even small town faces. There are several towns or cities have adopted like 3 different baskets for segregating the waste. That is there. But when you talk about technology, there are technology wherein which what we can do is, suppose I am making a township. If it is around 25 building township, now like in toilet all the waste, water, everything goes. Like that, you can channel each and every waste from the house itself, or maybe just outside the house itself. You can put it into all your waste, organic waste separate, plastic waste separate, or metallic waste separate. You can put it into that dustbin. There is a system. It will collect, not even collect. It will go down, and from the below your building or below your ground, this entire thing will taken to a central processing zone, so that none of the waste come out of our house. And that these systems are being developed in some of our projects, and I think in tomorrow's thing everywhere it will come, so that this entire thing will go to a processing unit. From the processing unit, they will automatically segregate these things. Some of the waste will go into the, maybe it can be converted into energy, it can be converted into different products, or it can be recycled, can be totally used in it. So that in tomorrow's thing, we will be making a zero wastage city or zero wastage township. Say, with the help of this kind of a technology, we can make our cities some of the cleanest thing. In today's thing, when we call our cities, there is a world standard for livable city. Every year, many organizations conducted survey and ranked the livable cities. There are, I think, 172 cities have been selected, and they do various parameters. They assess the cities about cleanliness and healthy living and other things. And unfortunately, today, India, none of Indian cities have featured in the first 125 rank. And they are all very bad. But this kind of a technology, not only this technology, people's attitude, people's habit, those things have to change. Then with that, we can make one of the most sustainable place to live, most sustainable city.
Absolutely well said. So now, where do you think AI plays a role? And we all know AI does play a very active role in helping us build a system in place for a more efficient, fast-moving, result-oriented city and eventually a country. So where you think, as an architect, AI would help us bring in more efficiency when it comes to climate analysis, that eventually will help us decide the right materials based on the location and the demography of where the building is located. So what is your take on that?
One study what we are currently doing with the institution is that we always have this back of the mind कि villa अच्छा है, ground plus 3 is nice, कोई बोलता है ground plus 12, somebody says high rise is a better income. So we have actually started the process of identifying blocks within the city. We have actually put a team who is going to collect data from these housing communities and commercial areas, actually going to monitor per capita energy consumption. I have a feeling that if a rightly programmed AI tool is created, we could run that on the current city and sort of come out with where what could be done in terms of solutions. So, because I think humanly it's not possible to scan the whole city. But if, like for example, the energy is being delivered through a network, and that network has already become a digital network. So, if connected to a AI, it can actually scan the whole power. Secondly, water supply is being monitored. I don't know whether it is digitally or not, but if water supply is monitored digitally and again given, again the disposals are done, if the garbage, every data, if it is connected with the AI, we can talk at a city level how what is performing and how one could improve, what are the gaps, what are the improvements that could be done. So that is one at a city scale. At architecture scale, what is happening is now parametric design is coming to picture. Maybe not the aesthetic parametric output, but for example, we are currently working on the extended portion of Dharavi, now Bharat, and we are doing some 40,000, 50,000 homes, one block. So there, such projects, the scope of iterations is so high. If at all there are some tools where you could put all the parameters in terms of performance, not only carpet area and efficiency, but the other parameters, while the design is being made, for example, a certain orientation, how much it will cost me. At the later end, when I do, let's say I do 20 units of floor, what is the flow and what is the pumping, all those things, if it is integrated with technology, some such tools can actually come out with projects which are more energy efficient and lesser constraint on the energy part.
Of course, bring in more efficiency in the output ratio. Absolutely.
Yeah, this AA, when I want to add just two sentences. Now, we had all this problem. To sort out the thing, we have a concept of smart city. Smart city, whether the smart city is successful in India or not, that's a secondary question. But the concept was there world over for so many years. But now, the smart city all outdated, even though we are not yet adopted. There is a new kind of a concept is evolving, that is called responsive city, where this AAA and technology, all those things will take care. What they will do is, AAA or whatever computerized, everything will be every parameter for a person to live healthy and happily, like a quality of air, then pollution, traffic, whatever you require to have a comfortable and happy living. It all will be monitored by UPI and it will automatically get adjusted. Suppose where we are sitting, my air quality, some particular aspect of air quality is slightly below the peak. It will that intimate the system, and the system will have a solution how to improve that part of the thing. That kind of things are happening. Technologically, so many things are happening to make our world more sustainable and beautiful.
Thank you. My next discussion to a problem here would be, what are the key challenges in implementing sustainable architecture that we go through on our projects? Can we platform for a few like-minded people to come together to be able to carry forward the whole journey of cohesive projects that could be brought in together, which are more value-added? What do you think about them?
Yeah, so for example, like a very basic example is that solar generating power through solar. So it's a great thing. You don't really create any issues, but you just generate energy. But the thing is that the capex versus the output, it's always a tussle. So what government did was that it incentivized, it gave low interest loans, it gave some extra benefits, extra energy created was bought back at urban rates, even if you produce in rural areas, so many benefits. So with that, only it is viable. Like that, for example, we work across India. So in Kolkata and I think in Pune also and so many other cities, if you have a green rated project, the local authority is giving you additional FSI and some benefits. Some benefits So some benefits are given for that. So such measures. So it's still not so lucrative. Like for example, like behind the scene, I'll tell you that whenever we have meetings, they say that अगर ये green करना है तो 1200 रुपये फुट कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, तो वो एडिशनल FSI आता है, उसके वजह से स्ट्रक्चर का कॉस्ट भी बढ़ता है. तो वेदर वो करना है कि नहीं, it's still a mathematic level. It's green sustainability is still a more of a personal agenda. People are doing it if it makes monetary sense. Yet people are still doing it if it fits their business model. This at the outset is the biggest challenge for sustainability. चलो मैं मेरा खुद का फार्म हाउस किया. I did a very nice recycled material, all that. But how much impact does it going to have? You know, when 1 million homes are being built in a very conventional, energy draining manner, 5 houses building sustainable, it's good to read in magazines. It can also delight you that yeah, nice things are happening. But the scaled impact will only come if there's a more incentivized system to it. And I really don't know how this is going to look and when this is going to look. Because we have been doing this for last 10 years, this sustainability thing has come into the mainstream. People are looking at it, but still not making a mark as such. Yes, the corporates, the multinationals, they are doing it because across the world, the West has consumed so much energy in last so many centuries that they now, मतलब वो उनको इतना guilt feel है कि they have to build a gold rated or a platinum rated building. They cannot do without them. So in such projects, it's a hygiene. वो तो green building तो करना ही है. American company तो green building तो करना ही है. It's a basic hygiene. But still the Indian clients, they are still counting the cost and all that. I don't know when it is going to get good. It needs a very real kind of a real dialogue between the authorities, the manufacturers and the industry, and a very, very realistic, grounded discussion platform can really help resolve this.
So you think we should bring in on panel discussions like this a few manufacturers with us on board to be able to get some real facts so that you know a true manufacturer would eventually know the cost of making a product, and then we should be in a position to kind of bring more value addition to this discussion. And you're right that this has still not become a lucrative घर बनने वाला product. You know, we are literally looking at making a sustainable home, not just for the underprivileged or the privileged, but it should be a benchmark for India to achieve as an eco-friendly cost material that we achieve as a developer or as an architect, right?
Yeah. Certainly. For example, the biggest consumed material will be concrete, cement basically. Cement and concrete as a further used material basically, and steel will be the second. Steel is being recycled to a certain extent and reused. A big amount of, not big amount, but a fair amount of fly ash is being mixed with the concrete to make it more this thing. And then there are even the atomic plant coal, the extremely high level, the best quality coal which is burned. I think it is called silica or something. There's a very refined particulate. Those are being used in the cement where all infra projects are being done because it produces micro concrete which has a very high durability. So all these things are being done to a certain extent, but it's so minuscule so far. Only technology can really solve this concept in a real sense. I mean, more like for example, we don't still have an option for aluminium. Aluminium is a very high embodied energy material. Although recyclable, but who does recycling? Manufacturing is like huge. Glass consumes energy, yes, good material, but still, yeah, the tiles and other things consume a lot of energy. We are very happy to use materials if they are able to compete with the non-sustainable material. I mean, unless sustainable materials are able to meet the prices, even the market is concerned. Bombay only has a very high rate saleable cost, but Bombay may come low for FAB, I don't know why. But other markets, so they are struggling on the margin. And for them to put extra money, whether the buyer will bear that cost is a real challenge. And I think this is the biggest challenge, the cost of, so I think the government should, rather than giving extra FSI, they should work with the manufacturers, give them more subsidy. I don't know, I'm not a policy maker, but something is like, you are asking me the question, I'm coming out with some possible solution. But a more detailed dialogue on this, if one pushes, I think a lot can happen.
So we have the seed of thought, Meghaji, for you. That we have the next, we soon plan another panel discussion with a few consciously aware people from the industry to be able to connect the threads together. It's all about collaboration, guys. We all know in today's age and time, and we should be talking about the solutions and not the problems alone. So the solution would come when we have diversity of people from the industry coming together on panel discussions like this to be able to weave the thread for all of us.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you.
So humbled for the love and respect all of you came here.
Thank
so
you
yesterday in one of our panel discussions, one beautiful point came in which I want to focus out here. So this Swedish CG was there, Council General, and he said that to promote collection of less waste and recycle, they said that we started 60 years back, one. They also said that we came up with a unique idea, one of the ideas which I just put out here. So they said that any of the household, if they have to throw waste, the bag, the bigger bag, has to be purchased from the government, municipal corporation, and it costed $5. You cannot throw any of your plastic or paper or anything to the mainstream waste unless you put it in that bag. Now because the bag costed $5, the family member said, भाई ये घर में use करो, इसको reuse करो, इसको organic करो, because every bag was costing $5. So I think we need to start from small measures which could then come up and give us a better cities or better places. So I think that could be the catch for our country.
We should not ignore that what technology and AI can be an added tool to be able to expedite the process of our thought.
Yeah. And thank you for being here. We have a small token of love.
Thank you everybody to listen to all. Thank you.